I'm pleased to say, and you Sharks fans should be pleased to hear, that this great man is going to lead you to the promised land. His name is Craig Fitzgibbon, and he's on the line, the coach of the Cronulla Sharks. G'day, Fitzy.
Jeez, fellas, I appreciate the support. I don't know if I need the pressure just yet.
Hey, Fitzy, how's it been, mate? So, are all the boys back full time now?
No, not yet, mate. We had about a dozen trial and training trial contracts that have been in training with us. Full-time training contracts, and then we had another people who have 8 weeks off have joined us on Monday, and then next week we get the 10-weekers back in, which would make the full squad.
All right. Can I ask you this, Craig? There was a lot of clubs chasing you when you were at the Chooks to come and be a head coach. Why did you finally decide, one, to leave, and two, why the Sharks?
I honestly felt like I wasn't ready, to be honest. Like, I really got to be sure. It's a big role. I didn't want to underestimate how big the job is, how big the role is, and I didn't want to do a club a disservice by jumping in just because I wanted something. So I wanted to be sure there. I'd given my word to the Roosters that I would see out the term that we'd agreed to with my deal. I just felt like the club had been there, it ended up 20 years. I just felt it was right to do the right thing by them, and I promised that, so I wasn't going to go back on my word. And then timing of the club, the Sharks, I felt like they're in a really strong position, and obviously strong junior nursery. I like the playing group at the moment, and fortunately for me, that opportunity came, and it wasn't. It was definitely it was a difficult time for the three when the announcement came out. That was for sure. But as I'm really excited to be here now. But I just those factors definitely weighed into it. Had obviously my father coached here, and I lived here for 10 years, so it's kind of like it just worked out. I don't know. It just felt right. It felt really right.
Yeah, I think it is right. And I think what you've done, very, very few people can do that, is just to stay patient, wait for the right job. Many coaches will snap at the wrong job. But Fitzy, take us through when you decided, okay, yep, I'm going to do this, the phone call from the Cronulla Sharks, and then the conversation with Trent Robinson.
So look, myself and Robbo obviously been close for a long period of time, or friends long before we started coaching together. So we just always had a really open relationship with telling each other things that, we felt like that coaching stuff, obviously in life there's so many issues, so many things pop up in footy clubs when, basically you got staff of 15, 16 and 30-odd knuckleheads you're looking after. There's plenty of issues that pop up, so it's good to have someone you can confide in. So we just kind of told each other everything all along, really trusted each other. And whilst it was difficult, we did have the discussion early times. Do you want to be a head coach? Do you think you can be a head coach? And so I was asking him, what do you think? And, so we're always open to discussions like that. And then, I just sort of had got to a point where I sort of thinking to start looking at some stuff, and I definitely wouldn't entertain a position without telling you first and running through that. Him and Nick were incredibly helpful in that. They really got behind me and made it a smooth transition out.
Fitzy, how important is it to have a good team? When I mean team, I mean coaching staff behind you, because I'd imagine becoming a head coach, there's a lot more work to do, not only on planning and stuff like that, but dealing with sponsors and media.
Yeah, it is crucial, Fletch. I think I'm figuring that out now. You're blessed when you're an assistant. You get a really singular focus. I still thought about footy all the time, like I was just forever thinking about. But it's a very singular focus. You know what I mean? You got a role. The roles and responsibilities are pretty direct in what you've got to deliver, and you're always thinking about footy. But the hardest thing trying to get used to now is the volume of thoughts come from different directions and come from everywhere. So it's just about having good operating rhythm, getting everything set up. Definitely prior planning is you got to have everything organised so your staff then can take over. And thankfully for me, I've got some pretty experienced coaches working with me, and that's been really helpful. But it's nice to be on the paddock actually coaching now. You know what I mean? Like the pre-season's up and running, and the real part of the job comes out. And you get out in the paddock and get into it. It's been enjoyable. I've enjoyed the whole process. I'd say that.
Great blokes on the coaching staff, but great players. Like the players you've signed, McGuinness, Dale Finucane, Nico Hines, Ikavalu, the list goes on. The common denominator, Fletch, is just rock-solid humans. Has that been part of the strategy, Fitzy?
Yeah, 100% it was. I think you need good people. Obviously, you want to stand at a footy. You've got to be able to play footy. It helps. But yeah, just if you want to, it's very hard. Like you've got so many elements, right? You've got to connect so many dots to get the footy program right. Off field, on field, commercial, fans, media, etc. There's so many elements to connect the dots. Now, when you get people, they're good people and they're good at their skill, good at their craft, good at the game. They help you connect the dots because you're not constantly managing them or concerned about them not driving your standards, driving your ethos, driving your your principles and how you want to play. It's really important that they're good people. So that's part of it. But I know a lot of guys are sort of probably mentioning the recruits. I'm just really excited to work with the players that are already here. To be honest, they're just so. It's been really, really good so far, and I'm so excited that I get my hands on a few of those lads, and I'm pumped about getting things going forward. But there's a lot of work to do. Like we still don't have a full squad together, and we've done 4 training sessions, so we're miles off being anywhere near what we need to do.
Now, Fitzy, you used to love the off season, in the sense of pre-season, I should say. You love the beep test and those stupid yo-yo tests. Is there a chance that you might join in on a beep test?
No, I don't have to. I've got Paul Gallen's a consultant for us, so he joined in and set the trend the other day. He's just a machine, mate. He walks in the other day and goes, "Hey, mate, do you mind if I jump in the yo-yo?" Oh, no, go for it. Because, he's obviously training for an upcoming fight, but it's good to have a savage like that around, that's for sure. He walks in, and to me, he's symbolic of a successful time for the club, right? Like he's a one club man, and he's been involved in the only premiership the club's won. He walks in and he's on staff and says, "Mate, can I get in and tear him with the boys?" 100% you can. Mate, proves to him what he's still capable of, and it makes people want to get better. So no, it was good to see him, and he did bloody good too.
The question was you, Craig.
No, I didn't. No, wait, no.
Really? You don't get the urge? Because sometimes I know you get quite impatient.
Yeah. No, I'm still burning the candle at both ends on my own time, Fletch, but don't train in front of the boys. It's a bit embarrassing for me now. A bit old, skinny and worn out for that stuff.
Have you had the wetsuit out locally yet, Fitzy?
I haven't surfed Cronulla yet. I went and checked it the other day. Just haven't had enough time. I had a little window of half hour the other day, but it wasn't worth it. I still just getting my feet under the desk, to be perfectly honest. It's been quite busy, but really enjoyable. So I haven't had the time, but hopefully when the schedule eases off a little bit, we can sneak down and get a wave in. There's a few of the boys surf, a couple of staff surf, so hopefully we can get a gang together.
I'd like to come down. Can I come down?
Come down, Brian.
Can I come down? Hey, Craig, you don't have to tell me this, but is it the captaincy of the club? Are you going to do one of those where there's going to be a co-captains, or are you just going to do just the one captain who's going to have to deal with everything on field and all that sort of bizzo?
Yeah, I haven't addressed it yet, Fletch, because the whole playing group's not back in. I don't know how they're connected, how they work, and who's driving, who's lead. But obviously Wade's the existing captain, and he's at the back end of last year off. So, discussions with Wade, discussions with options. We're just miles off getting to there yet. But I'd really like to see the players in action first. But obviously, see what Wade's feeling about it as well. He's been a great player for this club, and he's earned the right to be the leader in years past. And if he delivers on what he has, he's feeling like he's in a good spot. He might do it again. But I definitely haven't crossed that bridge when I come to it. But like I said, I think definitely need to acknowledge that Wade's the leader at this current point in time.
And Fitzy, a big factor, the Sharkies returning home. You've been on the road for so long. I know every team has, due to COVID, had to go onto the road, but of course the Sharks haven't been home at all due to construction, etc. Massive factor, do you believe, being back in front of the Cronulla faithful?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, everyone's really excited about coming home. I don't know if you guys know where the club's at. There's a huge, it's huge. It's a huge development going on behind the stadium at the moment. And, it'll have its challenges, but the packed stadium is going to be really exciting to play in front of. And everyone, staff and players just can't wait. But once the development out here is finished, it'll be a beautiful setup, that's for sure.
All right, Gibby, we have a little team we like to get together. It's called the Training the House Down team. We've asked our guests, we've had numerous guests on. I'm going to ask you, being the head coach, who's a player that has just been braining it at training for the last couple of weeks?
Hang on, Fitzy, hang on. But before you ask him that,
what
do you think you need to be a little bit upfront?
No.
As to the
Because
consequences?
if I tell him the truth.
Okay, all right.
If I tell him the truth, he won't do it. Yeah, give us a player, Craig, please.
What am I walking into here?
No. We did it last year, and we picked a team of 17 players. Like, if the media would write a story about them, or example, Bryce Cartwright trained the house down last year.
Yeah. How many games do you reckon our collective players played?
Gotcha. We talk about this, our pre-season loves. Coaches fall in love with some pre-season players. That happens quite a bit. And they change from time to time. But listen, it's too early. They've only done 4 sessions, so I don't know. But who's impressed me? Right, I'll tell you, I know who's impressed me so far and will impress during the year is Ronaldo Mulatalo.
Oh, good, yeah. He looks like a good kid.
Champion comes in, gives the group energy. He's lit up. He just, He's only done a couple of sessions so far because he's just come back, but he's been pretty impressive so far.
How's his Mark McGaw? Is it pretty much back to full strength here?
Well, it works, I can tell you that.
Jabberjaws.
He likes a bit of it. What about our man Moiser? How's Moiser's hamstrings?
Moiser's not back yet. He comes back with the 10-weekers, so he's got a little bit of time off, but he started training his own time. Come in the other day, looks good. So we're got to have a real crack at getting the best out of Moiser and get him battling away for what he's capable of there. And got some good R's here, really good R's. So it's a good challenge for Moiser to get the best out of himself. You
got a fair fullback there, young Kennedy. Geez, he can play.
Yes.
Yeah, there's blue sky there.
He's come out of the ground last year. I think a little training story. Him and Connor Tracy, and I think Will's actually openly thanked him for this. But Connor Tracy was training at fullback last pre-season, and Will didn't have the opportunity to come in and cruise because Connor's a bit of a beast, and he trained so hard it put Will under some stress. So he had to really fight for it, Will, and the penny dropped that. Oh, I get it. You get rewarded when you work hard, and he's come in and. He looks good. He's exciting.
I think Brayley's the one this year, Fitzy. He's the breakout one. He's the kid who's been there, I don't know, maybe 50, 60, maybe towards 100 games now. He's the one, I think, that takes you guys into a big, big season. But what's excited you most about the move to Cronulla and the head coaching, Fitzy?
It's just an opportunity. Like, it's a privilege, That's so why I didn't take it lightly. It wasn't lost on me the size of the role and how important it is, but I just feel privileged. I just feel like it's it's easy to not put yourself in the firing line. Like, I'm a pretty sort of private person and like to be left alone, but I've decided to come up for air now, and it's actually been exciting to do something different. And but I just feel privileged, and I'm in such an important position. I'm just got to make sure I do the right job,
You'll be doing the right job, and you'll be guiding the team into September. I've got absolutely no doubt, Fitzy, the Sharky. I'm telling, mate. I tell you now.
I know, but you can't do this to him.
He
hasn't even got the whole squad back yet.
I remember saying similar things to Robbo when he first had the job. This bloke here has got it. He's waited. The Sharkies are being kissed on the tush by a rainbow. It's good times if you support the Sharks, and it's great to have him there. Fitzy, well done, mate, on the appointment, and all the best in 2022.
Thanks, lads. Good on you.